We got a huge update saying that Juraj Slafkovsky probably will not be going to the World Juniors this year. We'll be discussing that, plus Arber Xhekaj and some of the incredible praise that he got from some members of the Habs staff. Finally, we got a little bit of Kaiden Guhle / Martin St. Louis news and exactly what makes Kaiden Guhle love playing for the Montreal Canadiens, so you won't want to miss anything we have to say on this edition of Habs Digest. Hello, bonjour, ahoy, and welcome to today's news edition of Habs Digest. I'm your host, Josh Gosse, alongside my co-host, Jesse Poirier, who's finally back. And Jesse, before we get into this video, quick reminder to subscribe, to like the video. We love that you guys are subscribing. We love when you like the videos. It helps us out a lot. Leave a comment too. If you're enjoying our daily content, we got your back every single day. Topic number one, the big thing everyone's talking about today, Jesse, and even in the last few days, we made a video talking about this, but it seems like Juraj Slafkovsky is probably not going to the World Junior Championships. We got this tweet from Arpon Basu, and we can see that he was quoting Miroslav Shatan, who confirmed that Szymon Nemec and Filip Mesar being a Habs prospect, will play for Slovakia at the 2022 World Junior Championships, but Jeff Gorton said that if Slav continues the way he is going, I wouldn't think that he'll be going to the World Juniors. Jesse, we discussed this the other day in one of our other news videos, and you said you think he should stay with Montreal. I thought he should go to the World Juniors to represent Slovakia, but it looks like you might have been right. What are your thoughts on this breaking news today?
Well, I'm really happy to hear just because we all want the best for Juraj Slafkovsky, and it's really debatable of which is better for them. Both have their pros and their cons, but yeah, just the fact that he's having so much good momentum right now. We've been clamoring for him to be on that second line pretty much all year, at least playing with Monahan. So just the fact that he's finally here, just wanted to see him stay up with the big club. So I'm really, really happy about this news, Josh.
Yeah, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if he actually goes to play in the World Juniors, he misses out on a bit of his NHL money for that time period. I don't know. I still want to hear from Slafkovsky himself, right? We've heard from all these news sources, from Miroslav Shatan, Jeff Gorton, the coaching staff, but we haven't heard from Slafkovsky himself as to what he wants to do. There's probably a reason for that. He probably doesn't want to outwardly say one thing or the other to maybe contradict Habs staffers or anything, but it seems like they're taking your stance. It seems like keeping Slafkovsky with the big league club is going to help his development long term, and sending him to the World Juniors, maybe the Habs think it's an injury risk. I'd love to see him represent Slovakia, maybe try and get a medal. One of the few opportunities he'll have to try and get another medal with his country. But yeah, Jesse, it seems like they took your stance on keeping him with the team. Is going to help his development long term, help learn the system, help keep his head up in the NHL. Do you have anything else to say about that?
Yeah, I think his time will definitely come again for him to represent Slovakia. I know we're all looking for a best on best international competition. I know it just got delayed a little bit, but it is happening soon enough. So, I can't wait to see it. But just next time he suits up for Slovakia, it's going to be against the very best in the entire world.
Yeah, let's hope that Slovakian team looks like it'll be nasty in the future with a couple of Habs prospects on it. So I can't wait to see what they can do maybe in a World Cup or maybe even the Olympics at the next level. Second topic today. The Canadiens have huge praise for Arber Xhekaj, and as we all know, Arber Xhekaj is a fan favorite. We love him here on the channel. We love him pretty much everywhere he goes. He is such a great story. From the OHL to Costco to finally making the big league club in Montreal, he is making his name known around the NHL, and we have some interesting quotes here from Habs staffers. Martin St. Louis said, "He can break out the puck. It allows us to play with possession and transition through the neutral zone. Can he go off the glass? Absolutely, but he's got high intelligence with a good skill set that allows him to do what his brain is telling him to do. His brain's pretty creative." And then Xhekaj had something to say about this as well. When he heard these comments, he said, "It's pretty special to hear that. Everyone always used to say when I was younger that you're a goon, you're a goon." And I'm like, I'm not a goon. I've got good hands. I make pretty good breakout passes. I've got a pretty good shot from the point. I've always known. He said it meant a lot to him that he's seen some second power play time because it's never really happened before. Jesse, the Habs, throughout Xhekaj's whole life, I guess, as a hockey player, he's been underestimated. He's always seen the talent in himself, but what do you think it means to him, and what does it mean for Montreal going forward that the staff here really have faith in him and believe that he can perform at the next level?
I think it's really amazing because Marty St. Louis is such a smart coach and player in his time as well. So just for the fact for him to say that, it really means so much. So we all know what he's capable of. So we're just so excited to just see him getting these opportunities here. And I just love that Marty St. Louis is saw something that maybe other people didn't see, that he's really the complete package. Like, he can do everything. And what I like so much about Xhekaj's game is he's so old school in many ways. It's that old school type of hockey player that can drop the gloves, that can hit, but he's got great hands as well. So I think it's just a perfect balance of what you really need on your team.
Yeah, I mean, great hands and a great shot, as we just saw on the screen. He has 4 goals, 4 assists this season, which coincidentally is exactly the same as Juraj Slafkovsky, and his 74 hits. I believe, we just checked this before, unless I missed something, that leads the league for rookies. Most hits in the NHL this season by a rookie is Arber Xhekaj. He has really been a force for Montreal, not to mention he's been scratched in a couple games, and those games Montreal has really not performed at their best. He's a difference maker for them, whether it's just being on that second or third pairing defensively with his big physical presence and ability to make those breakout passes, saucing in shots from the point that maybe get deflected or not on their way into the net, his ability to fight and defend his teammates when something goes wrong, like, for example, the Slafkovsky hits. He's an amazing presence to have, and the fact that the Habs are finally giving him that spotlight that he has really deserved, I'm sure, for a while in his life. I mean, not all of us have really watched him going through the minors, but we know him now, and the fact that he's getting this recognition is incredible. Final topic today. Coach Martin St. Louis leads by example. So, during this West Coast road trip, of course, Cayden Guhle got to go back to where he played minor hockey in the WHL with the Edmonton Oil Kings, and a couple reporters caught up with him. During the trip through Western Canada, Cayden Guhle visited the former Edmonton GM Kurt Hill and Coach Luke Pierce, who acquired him last December. He told us the thing that surprised him the most was how much fun Martin St. Louis makes it. I thought about that. This comes from Jeff Merrick and Elliot Friedman's 32 Thoughts. If you don't listen to the podcast, I suggest you do. It's a really good podcast. But Friedman thought about that after St. Louis refused to freak out following the 7-6 collapse in Vancouver. The Canadiens recovered by winning the next night in Seattle. Can't be a coincidence. Jesse, we've kind of known this from the start. Martin St. Louis is a great players coach. He seems like a really chill guy. He really doesn't overcoach mistakes. He really wants to make the guys confident in themselves. How much do you think Coach St. Louis' attitude has factored into Montreal's ability to bounce back from especially a horrible, brutal collapse of a loss like that one against Vancouver?
That's a great point. I think that Martin St. Louis is responsible for the Habs' success in general quite a bit. And statements like this kind of make you reflect on that. And because often we're talking, it's because, Suzuki and Caufield are playing so well and we're getting good goaltending that we're having such a good year. But then when you really get some comments like this of really what's going inside the locker room, what the atmosphere is like, everything else, and how Marty St. Louis, we just keep hearing amazing thing. And frankly, we're not really surprised just because we know the way that he deals with the media. He's so frank, but he's so intense and so intelligent, while at the same time, kind of wise but beyond his years in so many ways. So, you put that all together with the experience he has, it just makes to be an incredible NHL hockey coach. So we're really so lucky to have him. And I think he's a huge reason of even dating back to last year. It's not a surprise anymore. Since he took over, this team turned a new leaf completely. He made the best out of a really bad situation, and all he's done is just improve and constantly improve that situation even more. So I'm just such a huge fan, and this is amazing to hear.
Yeah, quick off-the-cuff question. How many coaches do you think currently employed in the NHL could do what Martin St. Louis has done with Montreal this season? Do you think it's under 10, under 5 maybe?
Well, probably under 5, just given just being in Montreal, right? There's just so many factors to being a head coach. It kind of comes with so many qualifications where maybe you might not have everywhere else, but just it is really important to the fans, to so many different things, so many different factors. So for that reason, not many could at all. But again, when we're speaking about Martin St. Louis and how good of a coach he is, we have to very much credit Jeff Gordon with that, for bringing him in the first place. He did an amazing job, and he was really putting his neck out on the line by, being a new GM, new, executive role with Montreal, and then hiring a rookie head coach. If that would have went bad, that would look really bad on him right off the bat. But I just congratulate him for making a really bold and intelligent move. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't want to have any other coach for the Montreal Canadiens than Marty St. Louis. And that's my honest opinion.
Yeah, based on his performance so far, I'd have to agree with you. It's a bonus he speaks French, of course, and I wasn't considering that when I sort of asked the question, but I think in general too, you look at some coaches, one that's not coaching in the NHL anymore, of course, Mike Babcock, but there are some guys like him who tended to really not play the young guys or be overly hard on the young guys, sort of force them into, you better be really good or you're not getting a chance, that kind of old school attitude. And that has worked in the past sometimes, but I think in a position like Montreal is in for a full-on rebuild with a lot of young talent coming up, I think it's really important to instill confidence in these guys, and I think there are really maybe even no better coaches at doing that right now than Coach St. Louis in Montreal, because honestly, I can't see Xhekaj flourishing the way he has for Montreal with maybe any other team in the league. Let us know in the comments if you disagree with that, but I think, like you said, Jesse, I don't think I'd rather any other coach in the entire NHL. I think St. Louis is a perfect fit, and I really hope he stays a perfect fit when this team sort of turns a new leaf and tries to become a contender in the next few seasons. We'll see how things work out there. Maybe some more X and O's plays, and we'll just see how everything rolls out. But right now, getting these young guys to up their game, to move to the next level, it's incredibly important, and you're right, I'd rather no one else in the NHL. But that'll do it for this news edition of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We love having you guys here. We love making this daily content for you guys, and we're glad you enjoy it. I'm your host, Josh Goss, for my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.